Boom. Not sure if anybody's here yet, but it's my second time streaming. Give it a couple more minutes, real quick. Hold on. 1 second. All right. So, I figured I should just hop on the stream real quick. I got to practice this. And also, we got some news. We got some news today. Hold on. Let me show my chins. So basically, what happened is that, well, two things. I didn't go on live yesterday. I was tired, but the first thing is first. We have waived Anthony Gill, the 32-year-old, and I believe David Aldridge has his first. I'm gonna read his tweet out loud before we get to all the stats and everything like that. But 32-year-old vet would have made $2.5 million in salary this upcoming year. It was guaranteed if we didn't cut him today. And highly regarded both in the locker room and front office. But right now, roster spots are at a premium. So, yeah, man, like the thing with like him is just like the longest tenured Wizard, and he's been here since 2020. But yeah, 2020, and that's like the Westbrook year. And it's just been a consistent, just overall human being. This is a guy, high character. You never heard anything bad about him. He's also been a guy, a great leader for the mentors. A great leader for the rookies, for the young bucks on our team. Everything that people say about him is just all positive. And, I have a lot of respect for him. And, it kind of sucks to see him go, to be honest with you. Even though, like, he's a guy he didn't really play that many minutes. But, like, you need guys like that in rebuilding situations. He came here originally overseas, I believe. Came in, supposed to be that guy. Hopefully, like can stretch four, honestly. 3-and-D, stretch four, and didn't really do that much, on the floor. I'm not, saying anything bad about his game. I know there was injuries in his first year with us. He only played 26 games, but they kept on bringing him back, and it was for a reason, because he's a high character dude. Kept on coming back on 1-year deals, and and every single time they brought him back, I was like, no, I'm definitely in favor for this guy, because you need these guys in the locker room, and just to make sure that nothing does go freaking astray. But yeah, man, like just the overall harp on him is just I have a lot of respect for him. There's even talk about like hopefully if he comes back like in a front office role, which I would be in support of. But yeah, this is like you can't say anything bad about Anthony Gill. Like you really can't. Great human being, a great dude. Like I said, longest tenured Wizard, great leader, but just a great human being. Yeah, every report I see about him or every article I read about him is just like this man always has a smile on his face, never in a bad mood. So yeah, man. My bad. I can't see my chat. I don't know if this joint looks funky. Hold on, let me double check something real quick. I can't see my cheats. Okay. This joint's weird. All right, my bad, y'all. I need to learn how to freaking put on this chat. Oh, now I see it. But I want to show it in the stream. Thank you, Charles, and thank you, Warlock. So yeah, let me just continue on with the facts, and then we're gonna talk about this a little bit on towards the end of the stream. It's not gonna be that long. It's gonna be like maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes, maybe 40, 45. But yeah, Anthony Gill, front office, already said that. Yeah, we drafted 3 rookies. I wasn't expecting to draft 3 rookies. Let me put this up real quick. Because we drafted 3 rookies the year before, roster spot was at a premium. We needed his roster spot, unfortunately. Again, like I was expecting to draft 2 rookies this year, but we drafted 3. We got one in the second round. I feel like a lot of us were thinking like the pick 40 was going to use as trade down to move up, and like we didn't expect that. Obviously, we used it for a different trade, but yeah, 3 rookies. I'm fine with it. Obviously, the youth movement here in the DMV, but going back to Anthony Gill again, I just want to read his stats off to you guys. Let me move this out real quick. 3.1 points his first year with us. But like I said, they kept bringing him back because he's a great leader. And just a great presence in the locker room. But yeah, I think I'm gonna move forward from this. But yeah, much respect to Anthony Gill. Hopefully he can come back maybe in a front office role. I will be down for that, honestly. I think some of you guys will be down for that too. But you know, Dillon Jones. Dillon Jones. So the trade happened yesterday, right? I'm gonna pull this article up. Start off from the beginning. We acquired Dillon Jones and a 2029 second round pick from the Thunder in exchange for Colby Jones. Dillon Jones, a first round pick last year from Oklahoma City. Presti stamped. So let me just read all the overall facts to you guys, and then I'm gonna give you my input. But obviously, like this is like more of like the Thunder needed cap space, and obviously they incentivized it with us by giving us a second round pick, 2029, which I believe is from Houston. But let me read this on. Oklahoma City ended up moving $9.5 million under the luxury tax following the deal. We received draft conversation along with Jones, like I said. Jones appeared in 54 games. This is Dillon Jones. Yeah, appeared in 54 games with the Oklahoma City Thunder during his rookie year, although he struggled to carve out a consistent role on a Thunder squad that paced the league with 68 wins and ended up winning a championship. He averaged 2.5 points, 2.2 rebounds, and 1.1 assists in 10 minutes per game while shooting 50% from the 2, 25% from the 3. He spent a little bit of time in G League, which I kind of anticipated with him, especially with the championship squad in Oklahoma. He played 18 games there in the G League affiliate. Now, I feel like some dudes, and rightfully so, I mean, I get it, but Colby Jones, they're kind of pissed, not pissed off, but they're like sad to see him go because he showed promise with us. Colby Jones in general last year, because remember, he was with the Kings first before he joined us. He averaged 4 points, 2.2 rebounds, and shot 45% from the 45 from the field, in 39 combined appearances with the Wizards and Kings. Remember, Colby Jones came in that Kings 3-team deal with the Marcus Smart trade. Came in pretty much as a filler, and he showed that man's a laser 3-point shooter. In the minutes he played, especially towards the end, like the final 5-7 games, he showed promise. And again, I think this goes back to like the 3 rookies we drafted. Roster spots were at a premium, but my take on this is that, granted, they took a flyer on a first-round pick. I believe he was a 26th overall pick last year. So now we have 5 first-round picks from last year's draft. It was Sar, Bub, George, and then A.J. Johnson. We traded for him for a Kyle Kuzma trade. And then now Dillon Jones, the 26th, I believe. Yeah, he was the 26th overall pick last year. In a draft that's like, I'm kind of getting tired of calling the draft like, because it was perceived as a weak draft, as a historically weak draft. But there were a lot of rookies from this draft last year that had an impressive rookie campaign. And we had 3 of them. And then there's other rookies who can possibly even continue. Obviously, they're going to continue to progress and get better over the years. But I'm tired from that narrative of saying, "Oh, last year's draft was just very weak, historically weak," which it was coming in, I guess, perceived. But like a lot of rookies balled out this year. In the year that just ended. But anyways, so now we have 5 first-round picks. And, my take on this is that I feel like, yeah, we want to take a flyer on a former first-round pick, Presti approved. And I'm going to get to that later because I have I've read an article here, but I'm going to get to that later regarding apparently how much Presti liked this kid for the time being. But I believe we did this, obviously, because we had the cap space. We're gonna be doing a lot of trades like this. Absorb contracts and get future draft capital. That's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. But we did this, I feel like, primarily for the draft pick, the 2029 second round pick. Okay, and I really like this trade. We basically flipped the guy in Colby Jones who probably wasn't going to make this team, and I believe the Thunder already waived Colby Jones, I believe. Yeah. It's not here, but I remember I read that. So they needed a roster spot and they saved money as well. $9.5 million under the luxury tax. But we did it I think we did this primarily for the second round pick. And we took a flyer on this kid. It's a win-win because he's not making that much. I'm gonna read you the contract details actually right now. Yeah, I believe he's making $2.5 million. It is not. Let me see. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Dillon Jones contract. Yeah. I mean, hold on. Spot rack. Yeah, $2.7 million this upcoming year. 2.8 the year after that. 5.2 his final year. But so I mean, we're gonna have him essentially for 3 more years. I'm not gonna sit here and say we're gonna have him guaranteed for the next couple of years. Like we don't know yet. Like remember, like Patrick Baldwin, former first round pick. We ended up we traded him, but like I feel like we're gonna take a glance at him this year, maybe even next year. And I wouldn't be surprised if we trade him the year after that, or we do what we can, But let me just get to this. I need to read this to you guys because I found this from a Oklahoma City website. I like reading the opposing teams' websites when we trade for a guy. Let me read this to you guys because I feel like it was going to get to what I was going to say. Sam Presti loved Jones. The small school forward was on his radar for 2 years, and you can sorry, my bad. You can kind of see why. A bowling ball forward who can be a playmaker and run the offense is an intriguing archetype. But he has some physical limitations. Non-existent shooting and age made it difficult to see him break out in the NBA, much less on Oklahoma. Now, here's the thing that caught my attention. The Thunder last year, they traded 5 future second-round picks in order to acquire Dillon Jones. 5 future second-round picks. That's a hefty price. They basically, I believe, got that 26th overall pick by trading 5 future second-round picks. And then they traded another second-round pick to get rid of him a year later. So I guess it's like, let me read this. Let me finish on. So the whole point, this is their article, the whole point of hoarding draft picks is to be afforded the luxury to overpay and not feel to be a hole burned in your wallet. The Thunder dealt 6 future second-round picks in Jones' 1 season and 5 when they traded for him and 1 attached to trade him away. They're saying, who cares? Who cares? We won a chip, all the fun stuff. Yeah, they did win a chip, so, not worth losing sleep over. But it just got me thinking, like, a GM's not going to trade 5 future second-round picks, even though if it is second-round picks. And it's, like, the best GM and Sam Presti if they didn't love you. So, to me, like, obviously, we all know Will Dawkins comes from the OKC, regime, but I really like this deal, man. He's not making that much. He's making $2 million next couple of years, $5 million of last year with us. Who's to say he's even with us that last year, his rookie year? So he has 3 more years left in his contract. But we're basically getting a guy we're going to take a look at, Presti approved, almost, and then we get a future second round pick on top of that. For a guy that was going to be hard, that was going to make it it was going to be kind of difficult for him to even make the roster in Colby Jones. Yeah, I'm giving this trade an A-. That's just my opinion, but I really like this trade, man. And just to go over his stats, like last year, again, he didn't really play that much. 10 minutes, 2.5 points per game, 38% from the field, 25% from the 3. A guy who just won the chip, hopefully he can bring some of that, those vibes to the locker room. But again, he's a young buck. He's 23 years old, but still. I want to read this over to you guys as well. His scouting report, not that much scouting reports on him that I found on the web. There was one from NBA DraftNet, but I don't really like that website, to be honest with you. It's a little sketch. Let me just read the overview. There are questions regarding Jones's whether he'll end up as a shooting guard or a small forward at the next level, and there's a chance his physical development will lead him one way or the other. I actually read some Thunder fans online saying that he could be possibly even a small ball 4 in certain small lineups. He possesses enough power, strength, and tenacity to defend forwards at the next level, although he has although he has also enough lateral quicknesses to handle smaller guards if needed. An area where he particularly thrives is rebounding, as Jones is elite on the glass for his size. Like I said, he's 6'5", 237 pounds, 23 years old, about to be 24 in October this year. His three-point shooting will likely be a swing skill because even though he can be a double-double machine, his long-range shooting will determine whether he can be a regular starter or a situational role rotational piece. Jones is an above-average passer, a really smart, fluid off the ball on... Sorry, I can't read today. What the fuck? I can't read! I think it's just my nerves. Fluid off the ball on offense. He finishes plays with efficiency near the rim, but has enough vision to create for others if needed. Projection, they're saying, projects as a shooting guard at the next level. Though he won't be ready to start right away as a rookie, he might need to be brought on slowly as he adjusts his game to the next level. He has the scoring ability and size to eventually make an impact as a role player in the NBA, but basically, he needs some time to develop. I like this deal, dude. If Presti likes you, obviously, Will Dawkins took some notes from Presti. I like this. Granted, he's most likely, they're saying shooting guard, maybe even small forward, but hey, man, we get a young flyer, a guy now is entering his second year of his rookie contract, which is cheap, a late first round pick, and we get a 2029 for second round pick. Let's stack the second round picks. People sometimes dog on the second round picks. In my opinion, we're not going to really use second round picks as guys like draft picks to draft second round pick players. Second round picks, to me, they're viewed as ammo. So if you want to trade up in the draft, you can package them like Sam Presti did, 5 second round picks to get basically a late first round pick. Let's just keep on getting second round picks, and maybe we can just attach them together, like we did with the Reggie Jackson trade, and get a low first round pick. Or, if in the future, if we need to get rid of a contract, let's attach second round picks to it because we don't want to attach first round picks to it. The more the better, But I like this trade, man. I like this trade. Dillon Jones. Let's see how long. I don't want to be on for too long. I'm about to hit it up to you guys. I'm gonna let you guys talk for a bit. Not talk, but I'm gonna let you guys say. But let me see. Oh yeah. But I want to go back to Anthony Gill, and then I'm gonna read some questions out loud. I can't freaking put the chat up here, man. It sucks. My thing is this with Anthony Gill. Also with the McCollum trade, I was thinking about this. With the McCollum trade, we have 2 of the best veterans, in my opinion, in this league that young Bucks can look up to. McCollum and Middleton. And then we got Marcus Smart. And granted, there's been rumors that he might be traded. Some teams might be interested in him. He's entering his contract year. This is going to be like his last payday of his NBA career. So we're gonna get a motivated Marcus Smart. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to keep Marcus Smart. I would like Marcus Smart to be a mentor to Jameer Watkins. But I don't know if he's going to be here. I definitely think that CJ McCollum and Middleton are going to be here this upcoming year. And then we forget about Richaun Holmes. Richaun Holmes, to me, he's in the same mold of like a great veteran. He was a team captain with the Sacramento Kings a couple years ago. And it kind of made Gill more expandable in that aspect regarding, I guess because we kept bringing him back for leadership. And thank God we did, Could you imagine if he wasn't there during the Kyle Kuzma fiasco that was happening last year? Like you need guys like that. But much respect to Anthony Gill. But that's what I was thinking too. I was like, we got bona fide vets that can ensure that our young guys, even though they're already wired straight, all of our young players, it can ensure that they're on the right path. Teach them the ropes. And we need that, and we got it. So, I think we're off to a great start this offseason. The draft is done. Check. Like I said in the video, we got it. 3 guys. I'm going to do a video on Will Riley this week. I need to do some deep dives on him. Free agency is coming up. It's coming up real soon. But yeah, Let me know. Let me open up the questions, man. Let me know in the stream chats. Sorry, this is my second time streaming, so I'm still like a freaking virgin of this. Let me know what y'all think right now. Ask some questions, please, and I'm gonna read them out loud. I can't freaking put them up. I want to put it up here. I want everybody to read the questions. I don't know how to freaking do that. Let's see how long I've been on for. All right. Does Alex Sarr wear a cup? Come on, bruh. Of course. Let's see here. Smart's the one guy out of all these vets that I'll be okay holding on to. Yeah, Smart. Because the thing with Smart is like he's gonna cement that defensive identity for us. He's gonna cement it. And, when you're raising a kid, their most important years. I'm not a freaking father. I'm only just saying this because of freaking books I read, I guess. But like the most important years is when they're adolescents. You gotta install the morals and values into them. These kids are adolescents on the hardwood. So a Marcus Smart guy who is defense first, defense all the time, defense 24/7. You want to install that at a young age to these young bucks. The importance of defense. And I feel like honestly, like most of them already know that, which is, tip my hat off to Will Dawkins for that. But, Marcus Smart, him alone, just his presence there, just if you're out there playing and you see Marcus Smart on the sideline just staring at you, watching you play defense, you're going to feel the pressure because he's not just critiquing you, but like he's going to tell you what it is. So like just his overall presence there just can help solidify that defensive identity that we want to, nurture and obviously make a consistency here in the DMV. So I agree with you, dude, regarding that aspect. Like he is very, very imperative. That's true. Smart is only, I believe, 30. I think he's turning 31 already this year. But yeah. But this is that. He's in a contract year. This is his last year. That's another thing. Like, we got to think about this. Like, we don't want to, it's going to be hard to because, guys like, Trey Johnson's going to get his minutes. Bub Carrington's going to get his minutes. McCollum's going to get his minutes. Marcus Smart, is he going to want to come off the bench, back up? We don't know what's going to happen. Backup point guard. Like, he wants to get his minutes because he wants to get paid. This is his last, contract that he's going to get next year. Like, his last big payday of the NBA. Like, is it fair to him? That's my question. Like, I don't know. You have to think about him, too. But I mean, he's a selfless dude. I'm not too, let's see here. Do you think the Wizards can run a two big lineup with Sarr and Vucevic? We see the trend. We see the trend. We saw what the Rockets and Şengün and Steven Adams, the Thunder with Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. Successful, especially in the playoffs. I feel like with the Vooch, we refer to him as the Vooch here in the channel. I feel like with the Vooch, Tristan Vukovic, I feel like they want to, and they also tendered him today. I even forgot to notice that. He's a restricted free agent, but they tendered him. I feel like with him, they want to see a little bit more. I mean, like not like. Obviously, they want to see more improvement, but he ended the season really strong offensively. Again, the game against the final game against Miami, what did he have? 26 points? Yeah, man had 4 3-pointers, something like that. I think it was his career night, if I'm not mistaken. I think they just want to see more, obviously progression, but they want to see if he improved this offseason. I'm not willing to cement him already as okay, this is a guy who's bona fide going to be in our, 8, 9-man, 10-man rotation going forward. Even though I really like him. I really like Vucevic, but we'll see. I don't know. He's a big question mark to me. Ideally, you say, yeah, he's a Will Dawkins draft pick, second-round pick from 2 years ago. But, I don't know. It's just his thing is defensively is just, But then again, I don't know. I definitely was like thinking about that too. I was like, dude, we could have our own two big men, like with the Sar and Vucevic. But I don't know. I definitely think Will Dawkins will see more of him this upcoming year. Because remember, he didn't really play that much the first half of the season, if any. He had a little bit of injuries and just didn't play. And then towards after the trade deadline, Danny started playing and he started showing flashes that we saw from his rookie year. So, yeah, man. Okay. Do I watch hockey or baseball? Nah, bruh. Sorry. Football and basketball. You can see back here the Commanders and the Wizards. Yeah, it's too much time. I mean, I want to learn, especially for the Capitals. I've been to a couple Caps games. It's fun, man. Like the energy, the atmosphere inside the Caps game. Even though I was the only brown dude in that stadium, I'm not gonna lie. I was keeping track. I was the only brown guy. I was like, fuck it, I don't care. But yeah, the Caps energy, like the atmosphere there, jeez, like it is like, wow. I'm just envisioning like maybe the Wizards in like 3 years from now, 4 years from now, it's something like that. But like, obviously hockey's a different sport, like that. But holy hell, like Caps. I don't know if you refer to Caps Nation, but like, it's crazy. Yeah, I think Pneumatic Brian summed it up best. Vooch seemed to have quality time on the court. Can he give the Wizards all that they want? Not sure. I think I'm with that. I'm not sure, but like I definitely think they want to see more of him this upcoming year before they make a final judgment of whether they're going to keep him and move on with him. But it's a lot to like there. A lot to like, especially offensively. Yeah, I like Vooch. I like Vooch. Let's see here. My bad. Okay, let's see. Which Wizards are in the hot seat to level up this season? Bilal Coulibaly. The first one that came to my mind. And I wouldn't even say hot seat for Bilal, but I was in a recent podcast, I believe it was State of the Wizards. That's a cool dude right there on YouTube. And we both talked about Bilal. You have to see at least improvement from the 3-point line, from the 3-point percentage. He regressed from his rookie year. And I'm not saying like this is a critical year, just make or break for, because it's not. I said in that podcast, I feel like he's going to take that Denny Avdia growth where he just slowly continue improving year, then boom. But I definitely want to see improvement. I know y'all saw that video of him working out like was it yesterday or 2 days ago? But yeah, man, he's the main one because last year he improved in certain aspects of his game, but he regressed shooting wise. And I feel like most of that's kind of like attributed to Kyle Kuzma, man. Kyle Kuzma, because remember, like beginning of the season, freaking Bilal was wrecking. He averaged 18 points per game for like the first, I believe it was like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, something like that. And then, Kyle Kuzma comes back from his injury because remember, Kyle Kuzma was gone for a while at the beginning of the season. He comes back. Obviously, Kyle Kuzma wants to take all the shots. And Bilal's mentality was just like all right, fine, I'm just going to revert myself to the corner. And he couldn't even do that, unfortunately. But I'm still really high on Bilal. I really like Bilal. My comparison to him is Jaden McDaniels from the Timberwolves. Jaden McDaniels has a $100 million plus contract. He's supremely valuable. A great. You need a Jaden to go deep in the playoffs. He's like the Lou Dort, I guess, even though Lou Dort's 6'4", but he's like the Lou Dort of the Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels. I really like Jaden McDaniels. And if he is Jaden McDaniels, we hit it. We hit on that pick, even though it was 7th overall, but still. Yeah. Yeah, 28% from the three. I don't know. See how long I haven't been on for, because I don't want to be on for a long time. Just want to be on for a good time. All right, I'm going to be on for like 7 more minutes, y'all. Let me read this question out loud. Can Bub develop well enough to ball handling to be the everyday starting point guard, or is his ceiling a really good 6-man combo guard? That's the main question for Bub, right? That's the main question for him. We're going to see. I'd like to think so. But then again, like when Bub got drafted to us, and I was watching, reading all the reports and watching, the tape, he kind of reminded me of CJ McCollum. mid-range king. We all saw what he did his first year with us. And then now we have CJ McCollum to teach him the ropes. So, Bub this year, I'm not putting him in the hot seat at all, because he was one of the youngest rookies last year in the draft. But, you want to see the improvement. I feel like, he's going to. This man, lives on the freaking basketball court. But with him, I'm really excited about Bub, man. It just shows the trust. And we read the David Aldridge report. I put in a video that the Wizards are extremely high on Bub Carrington. And obviously with Poole being here, he was going to eat up the minutes at the point guard, at least 30 minutes. Now those minutes need to be allocated somewhere else. I think most of that's going to go to Bub Carrington. So I also want to see AJ Johnson, but I kind of feel like AJ Johnson's going to be buried in the depth chart to begin the season, and then he's going to play a lot towards the end of the season. Because if Smart's back, I think he's going to be the backup point guard. I don't know who's going to be starting. We don't know yet with Trey Johnson or McCollum, But, yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen with AJ Johnson, unfortunately, because we all want to see AJ Johnson play. We want to see what we got with him, So, yeah. Is Trey Johnson the next Kobe? Hey, man. I said in the video, I'm standing pat on the Bradley Beal comparison for realistically. Bradley Beal. But I will say this. I think there's a solid chance that he is better than Bradley Beal. And that with the utmost respect to Bradley Beal. I love Bradley Beal, even though I know there's, within the whole fan base, But I think he could be better than Bradley Beal. Primarily because, his shooting split's coming out of college a little bit. But then again, you can't really use that into your argument because the game was just different back then. And Bradley Beal was always projected to be an elite shooter coming into the NBA, which he was, especially when he had John Wall. Granted, John Wall turns everybody. We saw what he did with Martell Webster, Trevor Ariza. Unfortunately, not with Bogdan Bogdanovic. That's one that I feel like the Wizards messed up on. He just retired too, so I guess I didn't say rest in peace. Congrats on your career, Bogey. But Bradley Beal, towards the end of his stint with the Wizards, his 3-point shot, it didn't fall off. He went from being a guy who 39, 40% from the three to 36, 35. Even one year he'd be at 34. But he was the primary ball handler during those years, and he also didn't have John Wall. But still, I love the Trey Johnson pick, man. Love it. Love it. Hey, Lockdown Law. I agree with you. How can I say this? I'm going to read this comment out loud. I think Wizards fans are expecting too much from AJ Johnson. He has athleticism and fuck all else. I think we need to temper our expectations because I feel like I see some dudes commenting on the videos that I drop and they're like, AJ Johnson's the next, we got to build around AJ Johnson. I was like, bro, what? No, I don't. I think he has a ways to go before, we even have that conversation. I feel like, first off, he needs to earn just even being considered in the 8-9-man rotation, 10-man rotation. Granted, I really like him. He's fun to watch, but he's a really raw. This dude, I believe, came from Australia, from Australian League. Barely played it there. Averaged 3.4 points per game there. Comes here. Well, first goes to the Bucks. Barely plays there. Then comes here. This man, I'll probably say, probably the most raw player we have on the roster. And that's with the rookies we just got. Well, him and Will Riley. I'll say AJ Johnson and Will Riley are the most raw players we got on the roster. But even with Dan, Trey Johnson's more advanced even in this game. And I think Trey Johnson probably younger than AJ Johnson. Yeah, definitely has to be younger than AJ Johnson. Fucking Jameer Watkins, this man's 24 years old, But, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to talk bad about or talk shit about AJ Johnson, but I think we need to temper our expectations from even considering him as a. I think the star comparison to All Star, like he's gonna be an All Star. I think my opinion is let's freaking calm down with that. He does show upside, he does, but in my opinion, let's just give him more snaps. Let's just give him more time on the court, and then we'll just go on from there. But I don't want to make But one thing I do like about him is his confidence. You saw in his interviews last year, he said he believes he can be a superstar. I love that. But yeah, I'm not saying AJ Johnson's going to be a shit player with us. I mean, who knows? But that whole All-Star conversation, I think that needs to like be tempered a bit. And hopefully he gives Bub, like, best case scenario, like he gives Bub, not this year, but like in the next coming years, he gives Bub a run for his money. I mean, that's best case scenario. I'm a guy, I'm a competition guy. I want competition everywhere. Get keep competition. Give me competition. I want somebody to do better content. My shit Wizards content. Competition breeds greatness, and that's my opinion on him. First off, AJ needs at least 50 more pounds, dude. I'd say 20. Man, was he 168, 169? Was he last year? No, was he 170s? Yeah, he needs to, yeah. Chicken burritos. Potential is the word of the day. The planning, getting a clear role, the trick. Raw has to be refined, but also know what it will be turned to. Yeah, just give him minutes though. But they waived my sweet boy Anthony. LOL. Hopefully he'll find a coaching position. Yeah, man. I want Anthony to come back in who knows, front office role maybe. You need those guys in your organization, even if it's not in the locker room. Much respect to him, man. He's been here 5 years now, since 2020. He knows the DMV. I would definitely be down for that. And have him work his way up. Obviously don't hire him as the assistant GM. But yeah. Let me be on for right now. It's 6:05 in my stream. Let's do until 6:10, and I'm gonna call it. I have to go run. Me and AJ going the opposite end. He needs to gain weight. I need to lose weight. We're crossing paths. AJ Bonson is baby Luka Doncic per his Bucks jersey number. Yeah. SAR 2, man. SAR 2. We need Eli Arbiza, my bad if I butcher your last name. Yeah, we need a really good strength and conditioning coach. Yeah, and I feel like we already have one. It's just, granted, dude, they're all 19 years old. Like, dude, when you were 19 years old, we were all skinny, scrawly. Well, maybe most of us, But yeah, let their frames fill out. Hit the protein. Go from there. Got a couple more questions. I can't freaking put this chat on the screen. There we go. Nomadic Brian offers some weight. I'll offer some weight. I'll double him. Use 30 pounds. He'll offer some 30 pounds. I'll go 60. Who wants to go 90? I don't know if I could go 60 and be freaking healthy myself, but fuck it, man. Let's see here. I feel like, did I miss anything that I wanted to say? King. Yeah. Hey, man, Summer League, man. Summer League is going to be super, super exciting. Granted, it's just Summer League. I do want to say this because I'm going to start streaming more often, and all the streams will be Wizards related. But I want to say this. Let's not panic. If one of the young bucks that we just drafted looks horrendous, let's not panic. We got to remember from Alex Starr last year. We have to remember that. And I wasn't panicking when I saw Alex Starr do his thing. Alex Starr was the freaking butt of the joke everywhere. Now look at him. He actually impressed. With Alex Starr, when we drafted him, I was like, all right, he'll be some sort of, I guess, more offensive Nick Claxton. After watching him his rookie year, I'm just like, no, I got to adjust. I think he can be somewhat of like an Evan Mobley. And if he is, second overall pick, we nailed it. So let's not overreact. If Trey Johnson has a bad stint, bad couple of games, let's not overreact yet. Like we got to, it's just summer league. Also, if they do really good, let's not overreact. Let's not say, oh, this guy is the next Kobe. But granted, if they do good, usually it's like somewhat. It usually does translate, but not all the time though. It doesn't always translate all the time. I remember Anthony Randolph. I don't know if y'all remember Anthony Randolph. I'll never forget Anthony Randolph, man. I loved Anthony Randolph. I believe he played for the Thunder. He had 52 points in the summer league, and he never translated over to the NBA. Granted, it's because of his game overall, and also I believe he was playing in the wrong era. But yeah, man. Yeah, donate a few inches to Riley's arms. Fuck it. That's not sus. It's not sus, dude. Yeah, Riley 6'8" with a 6'8" wingspan. But again, I'm gonna do a video on him this upcoming one. Probably about later on, like Thursday or Friday. But yeah, he's still. You can see the upside. I think somebody said that. I'll need to confirm this, so don't take this fully from me. But I believe Will Dawkins said that had Will Riley came out next year, he would have been a lottery pick. Remember, Will Riley's 19 years old. So I need to confirm that. But I in the stream we were all like we all wanted Newell, but now looking back on it, I'm just like, all right, well, it looks like Newell wasn't as highly regarded in Will Dawkins' board, but Will Riley looks like he was. Looks like they were targeting him the entire time. Remember in the press conference yesterday, Will Riley said that, and also I think the reporter said it as well. Sorry, I forgot his name. He said that the Wizards were scouting Will Riley for 2 years, like they were following him around for 2 years, and he said that the Wizards were the team most consistently doing this. There were not that many teams doing this with Will Riley. So we were interested for a while. And we traded back. We got 2 future second round picks. We got Jameer Watkins. I love that trade, man. Because it looks like, Will Dawkins, too many freaking Wills. Will Dawkins got his man and ended up getting future draft capital while doing so. All right, y'all. I'm gonna leave one last question, y'all, and I'm gonna go because I need to lose weight. I gotta go running, dude. And I promise I'm gonna do better with streaming. Like I feel like this streaming ain't shit. I feel like this streaming shit. I need to do better with like the overall quality of the stream. I'm gonna get some graphics and all this bullshit. But yeah. Let's see. Well, Riley, I'm intrigued by him. This year, I don't know if he get playing. He might be in the G League this year, might, but he does intrigue me a lot. Like he does, you can see the upside. Defensively, though, both him and Trey, but at least they're aware of it. Thanks, y'all. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it here. I don't want to keep it. I don't like when I listen to podcasts. To me, an hour and a half is the max, and then I check out. So I think I'm at the 40. We'll see, 43-minute mark. So I'm gonna call it. But yeah, man. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? I'm gonna be looking in the comments. What do you guys think of this Anthony Gill news? I'm gonna end it with that. Much respect to Anthony Gill. Thank you for withstanding, especially the past 2 years. Well, the past 5 years. What am I gonna discredit the first 3 years of friggin' stupid ass Wizards? Not. They should have traded Beal in 2019, and these assholes want to run it back and thinking they're gonna be freaking 500. We never even been that. But thank you, Anthony Gill. Much appreciated. Thank you for leading our young bucks. Thank you for not turning the locker room into a hellfire or helping it prevent that. And Dillon Jones, we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Great trade by Will Dawkins. Great trade. You got a flyer. You got a future second round pick in 2029, which I believe is from Houston. Great trade. But yeah, man, thank you very much, everybody. I'm stuttering a lot because I'm nervous. My second time streaming. I streamed the draft. I'm gonna get better at this, I promise. But yeah, thank you very much to everybody. And let's go freaking Wizards. Let's go.